And before we can get to that, we gotta get rust in our eyes. I forgot my keys at the house. What's this hanger for? I don't need it. Think, Zachary. Drippy, drippy. Where's that oil coming from? Ooh, nasty. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Zach Does It. And in case it's not abundantly clear by the state of MamaMiata right now, we are kicking off a brand new project where we are going to completely disassemble her. And I mean completely. I didn't think the dashboard would be coming back out again. But it turns out when you're trying to take everything out of the engine bay, like the booster cylinder, the master cylinder for the clutch, the brakes, everything, all of that is significantly easier to take out when you have access to everything that's behind the dash. In particular, we're looking at things like the firewall and all the nuts and bolts and screws and cotter pins and everything else that goes with it. So this is where we're at. We're almost completely done taking MamaMiata apart, but I want to take you on that journey. So sit back, relax, and watch me take MamaMiata from a complete functioning on-the-road vehicle to what you see here, where she's on jack stands, she has no engine, she has no transmission, she has no differential, she doesn't have a dash, basically everything is coming out. So let's kick off this project and see where we go. Oh, and before I forget, I'm going to share some progress pictures of the differential, the transmission, and everything that got painted in the last episode. I forgot to take final video and pictures of all of that, so it's a little bit of a mess here in this garage, but I do have some of those videos, so let's take a quick look at that before we kick off this brand new, massive undertaking where everything is coming out. This is quite the journey. All right, so we are back under the car, and first things first, we've got to get the exhaust out. And before we can get to that, we got to get rust in our eyes. Ew. All right, so I forgot my keys at the house, and the car is currently parked in a garage in Jersey, and it's a 30-minute drive just to get there, and then another 30-minute drive to get back. So because I can't get into the Miata, the lock for the wheel nuts is in there, and I can't get to that, so I can't take the wheels off just yet, which means I can't do the suspension, the brakes, or anything like that. So instead we're going to go the other way. We're going to go with the exhaust first, then we're going to do the differential and the transmission, and then on another day I'm going to come back and take the wheels and suspension and brakes and everything else off. And then after that we'll be able to get to cleaning. So first things first, let's get this exhaust off. Okay, so the first place we can take this apart really starts here. And once I take this off, I can take the whole rear section of this off and I'll have access to the differential. But that's not it. We are going to take it apart a little bit further up because we do want to get the transmission out too. So all of this is coming out. This is so full of rust. Long story short, I think I'm going to get a new exhaust system as part of all this too. Oh yeah, yeah, that's on there. That is really on there. All right, so if I can't get that off there, then the next place I can detach it is up there. That's okay. I knew I was gonna have to do it anyways. It's gonna sound real good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just wasn't expecting to have to do all of it at once. What is this hanger for? I don't need it. Think, Zachary. Drippy, drippy. Where's that oil coming from? Maybe I spoke too soon. I get so good at climbing. Having to apply force at weird angles just to take a car apart. Hang on. Okay, there we go. And that just about does it for today's episode. If it wasn't abundantly clear from some of the shots there is a ton of rust underneath MamaMiata, so much so that many of her components are coming out with a massive, massive fight. In fact, I ended up having to get a special tool that, if you want, you can try and guess in the comments, but I'll be introducing it, I think, in the next episode. But needless to say, from the intro, that if you remember, everything was taken apart, all the way fast forwarding backwards to what you just saw in this video, there's a ton of work involved. So definitely stay tuned for the next dozen or so episodes as we go through that journey of taking apart MamaMiata. And hopefully, if you're taking your Miata apart and you have forgotten how to put it back together, you don't even have to wait until we get there. You can just watch all of my videos in reverse as they come out. And that'll show you the exact opposite way of taking all of those components out. I'm going to try and break these videos up into bite-sized, meaningful chunks. That way they're a lot easier for me to edit, but also a lot more on topic. So when you're going back to see what process involves what tools or what types of efforts, you can focus on a single video instead of having to watch 4 or 5 or 6 different videos. Again, this has been another episode of Zak Does It. If you're enjoying this series or enjoyed this episode, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's the one thing or the two things that help channels like mine grow while they're still in their infancy. That's it for now. I'll be sure to see you on the next one.